Good afternoon, dear student. Myself, Dr. Surekha B. Jaiswal, Head Department of Physics from Moreshwar College, Bhokardan, District Jalna, affiliated to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad. Today we will study chapter number 1, Photoelectric Effect from Modern Physics, course code number 202, paper number 8. In 1887, Hertz first discovered photoelectric effect. He explained with classical physics in his electromagnetic wave experiment. He observed that these emitted photoparticles must be negatively charged. Phenomenon of photoelectric effect was given by Leonard in 1900 and explained by Einstein in 1905. He explained this phenomenon on the basis of Planck constant theory. Leonard confirmed the photoparticles are nothing but the electrons. The charge to mass ratio of the electron is given by E by m is equal to 1.758820 into 10 raised to 11 coulomb per kg, where m equal to mass of an electron in kilogram, that is equal to 9.1093856 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, where E equal to magnitude of the charge of an electron. In coulomb, E is equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 90 coulombs. Now see in figure here. Now we define the photoelectric effect. Whenever light or electric radiation such as X-rays, ultraviolet rays fall on a metal plate, it emits electrons. This emission of electron from metal surface, when illuminated by light of suitable wavelength, is called the photoelectric effect. The electron emitted are known as photoelectron. See in figure, this ultraviolet light or light rays are fall on this metal surface. See, then what happens when these light rays are fall on metal surface? It emit the electrons from the metal surface. This emission of electrons from the metal surface is known as photoelectric effect. When light of sufficient energy is incident on a metal plate, its electron ejected out and can form electric current. This phenomenon is also called photoelectric effect. Now, what is sufficient energy? The sufficient energy means it should have energy which is more than work function. Also we know work function is the minimum energy required by an electron to escape from metal surface, depend on nature and surface of metal. For example, for platinum work function phi equal to 5.65 electron volt, and for cesium work function having value 2.14 electron volt. I am going to discuss the Leonard method to determine E by for photoelectrons. See in figure, the experimental arrangement is shown by Leonard as shown in figure. Now in figure, It consists of the quartz glass tube G. See here, this tube is made up by quartz glass and that is denoted by here G, which is evacuated through side tube T. See here. And it also consists of two electrodes, cathode and anode. The anode and cathode are two electrodes as shown in figure. The anode A has hole in its center. See here, this plate is anode and here at the center there is a hole. It also consists of the quartz window W. See here, this W is here, that window is here made up of also the quartz window, through which ultraviolet light is incident. Through this quartz glass window W, the ultraviolet light is incident on the cathode surface. Then it consists of also here two plates P1 and P2, which are connected to electrometers E1 and E2. See in figure here, this P1 is connected to electrometer E1 and this plate P2 is connected to the electrometer E2 respectively. When the ultraviolet light is incident, see in figure, when the ultraviolet light is incident on the cathode, this cathode emits electrons, or the phenomenon of photoelectric effect takes place. The emitted electron travel this anode A. See here, some electron has enough energy to passes through the central hole A, travels towards the P1. One of these electrons at P1 is indicated by the indicator E1 here. By applying a uniform magnetic field B represented by a dotted circle, see in figure here, this dotted circle, perpendicular to the paper and directed towards the reader. The electron, instead of going to straight direction, see this electron, instead of going to straight direction, they travel towards the plate P2. See in figure, in circular path, and their arrival of P2 is indicated by deflection meter E2, that is electrometer E2. Then Lennard studied the variation of cathode potential with respect to current. Initially, Lennard applied positive voltage to the cathode, and it was observed that there is no current. See in graph. When applied potential V was plus positive 2 volts, then there is a feeble current showing that a few particles possess velocity to overcome the retarding potential of two holes. When the potential was further decreased, see in figure, -5 volt, then what happened? The current is here increases and reach the maximum value for -20 volt. Based on these observations, Linar calculated the charge to mass ratio. Then from this experiment we can calculate the charge to mass ratio. Let us consider capital V be the accelerating potential applied between cathode and anode, and small v be the velocity of photoelectrons. Then kinetic energy acquired by the photoelectron is equal to the energy of photoparticle. From this, kinetic energy equal to 1/2 mv square equal to EV is equal to energy of photoparticles. Means kinetic energy equal to energy of photoparticles, where E is charge and m is mass of electrons. When we applying uniform magnetic field of strength B, the particle travel in circular path, has radius of r, and we can write centripetal force is balanced by the magnetostatic force. So mv square upon r equal to B into E into V. That is, centripetal force is equal to balanced by the magnetostatic force. Therefore, velocity is equal to B into E into R divided by m. Putting the value of velocity in equation number 1, we get 1/2 mv square E square into R square upon m square equal to E into V. By simplifying, we get E upon m equal to twice V upon B square R square. From the value of V, B and R, we can calculate E by m. This clearly shows that the particles are nothing but electrons. Thank you.